Me too.
Yeah, but you know what? You're the magic man. That's all there is to it. I mean, to come up with this kind of stuff, and
Well,
yeah,
I appreciate that, Bill. That's kind. I talk about like it's a mini camper multi-tool. Like it just folds out like my Leatherman.
I love
here,
that
so,
mini camper multi-tool. Guess what the thumbnail is going to look like now? The
mini camper multi-tool.
Yeah.
All right, good enough.
Oh, shoot. Well, hey everybody, this is Bill with I Ride Tiny House Adventures, and a gentleman pulled in here yesterday into the campground, and of course it immediately caught my eye, your trailer, Randall.
Well, thanks.
But everybody say hello to Randall. And
good morning.
First, let's, I saw your license plate. It says Manitoba on it.
That's right. Although I grew up in Colorado, I married a Canadian, and we've been in Manitoba the last 20 years or so.
And you've been on quite a trip here just recently.
Been working our way from Manitoba over to Baltimore to help a kid with some renovations there, and then working my way back to Kansas via Dallas to help with some other renovations or work on a little deck with another kid.
Awesome, awesome. So you've got to see a lot of countryside here recently.
That's right. My wife was with me for part of it, but flew back to do a little public health work. So.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, now let's talk about your trailer here. Now, what size is this trailer again?
6x10, and it's 6'6" height.
Okay, 6'6" on the inside.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha. And it's all aluminum.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right. All aluminum, the frame, and the box as well.
Okay. One of the first questions people are going to ask is, do you know what it weighs?
Empty, it's 965 pounds.
Now that's before let me clarify that. That's before you ever started the build on the inside.
That's when I pulled it off the lot.
Exactly.
And I wish I had a final weight. I need to do that. I think I've at least doubled that weight. So let's call it somewhere around 2,000 pounds.
Okay. All right. Now you tow it with, let me step over here and just get a shot of that. If I don't trip going down the hill here. But you tow it with this Toyota RAV4, right?
That's right, and it is a special edition. In Canada it's called the Trail, in the US it's called the Adventure, and they've got some special modifications to increase its towing capacity from 1,500 for the typical RAV4 up to 3,500 for this edition.
Okay, and it is a 4-cylinder.
It's 4-cylinder. The engine is the same, but my understanding is they've done some beefing up of the suspension and the transmission cooler, the radiator, engine coolant stuff. So they have done some modifications to make it tow a little better. We went ahead and added the tow package on it. I did add some air suspension bags in the back. I don't know whether that really helps or not, but makes me feel a little better. And had the 7-pin put on it with the wireless brake controller.
That was one of my questions. So
yep.
you are running brakes on your trailer.
I did order the trailer with brakes. Makes me feel a little better pulling with a RAV4. It's not a heavy trailer, but it's not a heavy car either.
Exactly.
So that does definitely help, I think, coming down some of those passes. Feels a little safer having those trailer brakes on.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. All righty. Now let's go back over this way if you don't mind. And well, let me back up here so people can see this awning a little bit better. But this is a Fiamma. I'm trying to see the
Fiamma.
Yep. And what model number is that? Looks like F.
I think that's F80S. Is that what that says?
I believe that's what that says right there.
Yeah. And that's a 9.5-foot awning, which is about as big as this little trailer can handle. But it gives us a nice little shade spot, and that pops out and back in real quick and easy with a quick manual crank that we've got, and they've been pretty good for us. I was saying earlier, would have been nice to have a 270 batwing awning with this sort of design where we work out of the back of the trailer quite a bit, but I was a little afraid of trying to re-stow it in windy conditions on such a high awning. Me up on a stool wrestling with a bunch of canvas in a high wind didn't sound like a good recipe for healthy camper
I hear you.
living. So I just went with these.
I sympathize with you on that. I certainly do. I really, really do. Yeah. All right, and then you back at the back, and of course you've got barn doors.
Yeah, we
back
got
here.
barn doors. This is kind of, I'll say, this is a little bit where I designed the trailer around the outdoor kitchen and garage area here. Since it's such a tiny trailer, we try and spend as much time outside as we can. So we got the outdoor kitchen, can be used inside and accessed from inside as well, but most of the time I'm outdoors here cooking. Got a little garage area right here with a bike rack I designed. We've got 2 bikes stowed in here, and it was a little hard for me to get them in there, so I designed it so that this thing,
let me see if I can get that down there.
this bike rack, got them tied in there. This bike rack rotates out like that, so you can take them on and off a little easier. And then when you're done, you just put them back in here, and got a couple of little latches here that lock it into place. And that's how that works.
And you designed that yourself?
I did. It was a little bit of futzing around, but it seems to work pretty well for us. We like to get out biking for a while. I was just wondering to myself the other day, though, how long is it going to be before I want me some e-bikes like everybody else is getting these days? But we'll make and do with these for now.
There, I got you. That was my next question, if they were e-bikes. So.
No, they are not e-bikes,
Okay.
so we're still pedaling around. And then for the kitchen here, you want me to just give a little go through here? So because we've got our solar system providing so much nice energy for us, although I still do have my trusty Coleman stove, I went ahead last year and added this induction cooktop that is pretty smooth, I gotta say, particularly on windy days where that propane heat tends to get blown away. This is coming in pretty handy.
Fabulous. Yeah, we have an induction cooktop. We love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then I see you got the Dometic fridge down there below
and this you just access from here. And then here's kind of the guts of the electrical system here. I've got shore power coming on the outside into a breaker there. I did add an electrical management system tucked in there.
Looks like I see one Battleborn battery.
2 100 amp hours. So I got 200 amp hour Battleborn batteries capacity there. Then a Victron Energy inverter charger. That's a
all-in-one unit.
2000. And then one of the last things I did was add the 600 watts of solar up top, which has just been magical. Just love those. It's I don't know much about this stuff, but you can get a lot of information, and it's pretty much plug and play if you're willing to follow the instructions pretty carefully.
Absolutely.
And then there's our AC, our distribution panel there, and goes to, we got like 12 volt, 110 volt kind of paired outlets throughout the trailer in the front, in the garage, in the kitchen, and alongside each bed for phone charging and stuff.
So your distribution panel is right behind this fire blanket.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it up here. I'm sorry.
Right up here.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And there's our fire blanket. We got the fire extinguisher right around the corner here.
Good deal.
Got a propane detector down here. And I think that, so got some totes with different tools. This is a BioLite fire pit. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but that's pretty fun for setting it up. Yeah, it's just like a little portable fire pit. You can set it up right next to where you're cooking here, and you put charcoal in it or firewood. It's got a little fan on it so that it lights up pretty quickly, and you can grill on it or just sit around for a fire in the evening.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that's been pretty nice.
Probably all a person would need to do is simply Google BioLite.
That's right, BioLite. Yeah, we really like that. And then back in there further, we've got the Gazelle Pavilion that slides out the back when we want to host some guests.
Yeah.
That thing pops up, and we got some extra mattresses in the car and blankets and stuff for people that want to join us when they're camping.
All righty. Fabulous. Now the gazebo you have, the Gazelle gazebo, is it the 8-foot diameter one or the 12?
It's 12. It's a big guy.
Yeah, that's the one we have. We currently have right
Okay.
now. We love our Gazelle gazebo.
Yeah,
We
they're pretty
certainly
nice.
do.
And
Certainly do.
here's a shower pop-up tent that we use when we were not in a campground and want to take a little shower.
I got you. All righty.
And there's all our cooking stuff, and it's a little tight, but it works for us.
All right, if you don't mind, let's
Sure.
step on over here, because we got to talk about, and we can see it a lot easier here, but let me extend this out a little bit and show them this rack system that you've been utilizing here. And what are those called?
I think the manufacturer of that is called Fast Rack.
Fast
And I got
Rack.
that from a local solar shop in Winnipeg, Manitoba, that do commercial solar installations. They hadn't worked with somebody on a camper top installation before, but they were willing to sell me some pieces, and it works pretty slick. I tightened them down, and I was a little worried how they would do, but it's been a couple of years, and they seemingly are doing real well. No problems.
It really looks nice the way it all fits up here, but it looks
Thanks.
like
Thanks,
you
Bill.
use the same. I see L brackets there, and then
yep,
I see the
that'll-
main stick, you might say.
Yeah.
But also that same type of stick that runs across
That's right.
is also
It's
the same
one
thing that's
along the
bolted on the
side.
sides there as well.
That's correct. And all those pieces they sell as together. And my idea was that if I can attach that into the side without putting holes in the top, that's always a win if you can do that. So those rails are attached along the side, and then the same rail across the top that the solar panels are attached
Yeah.
to.
Well, it's really slick. The stuff looks cool. I'm going to be searching that out because we're
Well,
getting ready to
thanks.
add more solar panels
Okay.
to the top of our trailer.
Well, thanks.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to see if something like this might be viable for our setup on our
Yeah.
trailer.
Well, they're aluminum, so they're pretty light. A little pricey, but that's how things go.
All righty. I think it's time for us to take a peek on the inside.
So this is the beds in the single configuration. We tend to get up a fair bit at night to use the bathroom, so it's kind of nice not to have to crawl over each other when my wife and I are both in here. If you want a headboard, this flips up for a headboard here, and then you've got two separate beds like that. If you want to turn it into a single bigger bed, this flips down like that. You just pull the mattress down here, and then we've got three separate little slide out sections with cushions up here that connect it into one big bed here.
awesome.
Here's the second one, and then a third one down there. And then that bed's somewhere between a queen and a king size bed. Then of course you got to put it away in the morning, which takes a couple minutes, which some people don't like to do. It just takes a couple minutes, so it's not a big deal.
And you engineered this as well, right?
Well, engineering is a pretty loose word. Every time I do something, it takes me about three or four times to get it.
Oh,
So
well. That's all part of it.
yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. And you've got storage underneath.
Yeah,
Is that
if you want to come in, I can show you some
Yeah,
of the storage.
yeah. Let me come around
on
to the door.
there, then. I'll just show you this side first. These here are two inflatable kayaks
Oh, really?
that we love to get out on. I was hoping maybe to get out here today. I think rain's in the forecast though, so I don't know if I'll get out there
off
or
and
not.
on all day, unfortunately.
And then right in between here is our little, we've got a Propex heater, propane heater, that we tucked right in here.
Really?
Yep. And
Okay, I'm going to have to come in here and see if I
well,
can get
come
a
on in there.
shot of that.
That's our Propex heater, and then it just, the hot air comes out right here. Got our thermostat right here.
Oh, and I see the hose
Yep, and
coming
that,
out.
yep, that baby heats this. It's such a small space that it heats everything up.
The
just
Propex
fine.
brand, that's the
Yes,
brand of it?
Propex is the brand.
Okay, Propex?
That's exactly it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
probably all a person would have to do is Google Propex heater.
Absolutely,
And,
yep.
and I'm sure all the info
Yep.
would pop up.
I know they sell them in Great Britain and Canada and also in the U.S. And I think the attachments are a little different for each country, but that heats up this little space real good. And then the other side here, we've got a fair bit of camping gear. So like a ladder for accessing the roof if we ever need to. We've got that fake turf roll for out front of the camper if we ever want to set that up. And there's the Gazelle Pavilion down here. Got our short cords, our batteries are there. Propane lantern, a couple of guest chairs we keep in here, some hammocks, and we used to have a little bike trailer there for our Boston Terrier, but unfortunately he went on to greener pastures earlier this year. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So
they become part of the family.
That's that guy. He was a good little traveler. We
Sure
miss
enough.
him a lot.
Sure enough. Well, I'll tell you what, you're also quite the organizer.
Well, we're doing what we can. You know, we've heard tell of these fancy things called cabinets and drawers, but we got stuck at the shelf stage of development, but that's about as fancy as we got in here.
Yeah.
Here's mine and here's Charlotte's stuff. We got a little projector here that we set up a screen over here.
I want to point out one thing, the way you're hanging these.
Yes.
These are threaded flanges.
That's
here.
right.
And then this obviously is just all thread
That's correct.
stud that you can get, most anywhere.
Yeah, so I put furring strips firmly attached into each of the roofing cross members there. Furring strips along underneath each of these shelves, and then we're just suspending all of these shelves, including the kitchen, just to make easier access to be able to get into the cooler and stuff when we're cooking inside. And those have held fine, no problems.
Well,
Let me show you the indoor kitchen too. Can I do that?
Yes,
how that works?
absolutely.
All right, so this
Am I
indoor
in your
kitchen.
way?
No, you're good, right there. So on those days that it might be cold outside, or just not feeling getting out, too windy or rainy or something like that, I've made this so that it folds down.
Holy
Got a
cow.
pretty good kitchen interior surface.
Man.
The induction plate sits right here, so that just slides out. I've got access to, here's my little toaster oven. Well, speaking of how to secure your appliances, here's my securing the appliance door here. That's kind of low tech there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So
just
that-
a little. Yeah. Just a little piece of flat metal.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But it's not as easy to use as the outside, but you can do it if you need to.
Yeah, but you know what? You're the magic man. That's all there is to it. I mean, to come up with this kind of stuff, and
Well, I appreciate that, Bill. That's kind. I talk about it like it's a mini camper multi-tool. Like it just folds out like my Leatherman.
I
right
love
here.
that
So,
mini camper multi-tool. Guess what the thumbnail's going to look like now? The
mini camper multi-tool.
Yeah.
All right, good enough.
Oh, shoot.
So that's how that works.
That is fabulous. Absolutely awesome.
I do have a little table here that we can use if we want to eat inside or play cards or something. That this again, just kind of a homemade thing or you can sit here work and you got a pretty nice view out the trailer.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's how that works. Those tables are pretty handy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure enough. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
And the
Okay.
final section here is our bathroom with the composting toilet. Got our toiletries, a little liquor shelf there. Some
They don't
hooks.
drink. Y'all don't drink booze in Canada, do you?
No, not at all. Actually, I'm from Mennonite background, so we don't do too much drinking, but we do a little bit. So.
I got you. Okay. All righty.
And then our, so for the indoor sink and bathroom area, we got just a hand pump here that I had already that I just decided to use. You know, a little electric pump would be nice, but then we'd probably be going through our water a little quicker.
Yeah.
I just use like a 3-gallon water jug here that drains down into another 3-gallon water jug right down there at the base.
Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but they know it's there.
Yeah, and then I got my wheel chocks and my stabilizers, and I call this the shoe jail right here for kind of keeping track of our shoes. Yeah. They tend to spread pretty far and wide if we don't.
You know, we still don't have a specific place to put shoes in our trailer. You would think that, you know, Deb would come up with something like that, but no.
Well, maybe she will now.
Oh, I imagine she will, or she'll be harping. I don't want to use the term harping, or she will be suggesting to me that maybe I come up with something. I mean, it's time. It's only been 4.5 years.
Maybe after she does the orange rolls, she'll work on that.
Oh, here we go, bringing that up again. I'm already in trouble for mentioning that.
I should have mentioned too, so for finishing the inside here, we just used the OSB that came with it, sanded it down. It actually sanded down pretty nice, and just put a polyurethane couple coats on it. Same thing for the plywood floor here. The insulation, should I say just a little bit about the insulation?
Yeah, go ahead and talk. Yeah.
Well, I did take everything out and insulate the walls, the ceiling, and the floor. The walls are only 1 inch thick, so you can't do too much there, but the ceiling and floor, I got about 3 inches of insulation in the ceiling and a couple of inches in the floor, and we've camped in sub-freezing weather, and it does pretty good. It's so small with that little heater, it does great. Yeah.
I would think that would just almost run you out on the coldest of nights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is awesome. This is fabulous, Randall.
Thanks,
to be quite honest with you, when I was heading up here this morning after I met you last night, although I was really impressed with the exterior of the trailer, you know, just as you pulled in, I never expected what I'm looking at now.
We packed a lot in here, and part of the reason we've been able to do that is we built it out so slow. The first time we took it out down to a music festival in Winfield, Kansas, we just had a couple of benches, and that was it. And we sweltered away, no fan or anything to keep us, like no electric or nothing. But gradually over time, when you do it slowly over time, you can change your plans as you go. You can see what works, what doesn't work. And as you probably also aware that it's kind of a never-ending task of modifying things. And
and you're still not running an air conditioner, right?
Not yet. I am on the verge of, they just came out with this Zero Breeze Mark III. It's a new little unit, pretty pricey, but has some batteries that can come with it. And I would love a mini split, but I got to keep that tongue weight down, pulling it with this RAV4 here.
I understand.
So I'm thinking about a little unit like that. I typically have not been camping in places where we need it.
Well, it's the first thing I thought of, because, you know, if you're way up north.
Yep.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be near the issue that it can be down here, which I'm sure you're discovering.
Yeah, this humidity. This is my first time through. I came from Baltimore. I'm working my way out to Kansas, like I said, and seeing some beautiful country. The Shenandoah Valley, the skyline there, and the Blue Ridge Parkway coming down here.
Oh yeah.
The greenery and the humidity is something I have not. I grew up out west in Colorado and New Mexico. So it's a little bit different camping out here. We're going to see.
I understand.
See how that works. But,
it'll be interesting to hear later, you know, how you fared.
Yeah.
Just wait till you get to Kansas. Well, I won't go any further than that. Anyway, Randall, I'm going to have to cut her short. Since we're park attendants now and we are on duty today, I've got to get back over there and get ready for that.
Sure thing. I just want to say, though, thank you guys so much for what you do to support. I just love everybody getting out in different ways, enjoying this absolutely amazing country and planet, universe we're part of. It's just so fun seeing what everybody chooses, and the part you guys do to help support that and inspire people. I'm really appreciative. So.
Well, Deb and I really appreciate that, and you have no idea how much. And don't start making me teary-eyed. Stop it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye for now. This is Bill and Randall with I Ride Tiny House Adventures. And Randall, I know what we're fixing to say. We're not camping.
We are living.
You betcha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill.
Tell
And,
everybody you were not prompted ahead of time.
I was not.
Okay.
Y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.